There are two sets of rules for life. The first set is the one they give you. It's taught in schools, praised by the crowd, and celebrated by society. It's designed to make you predictable, cooperative, and safe. The second set of rules is never taught. It is discovered. It is the operating system for power, for freedom, for becoming who you were actually meant to be. Society gives you the first set to keep you in your place. Today, at Think Abyss, we open the book on the second. The first page of that forbidden book was written by the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche. His work is not a guide, it is a weapon. He gave us truths so dangerous, most people only learn them when it's too late, after a lifetime of quiet compromises and polite self-betrayal has already led them to a life they never chose. If you are ready to stop playing by the rules designed to make you lose, then listen closely. Your real education begins now.
The first truth: you are taught how to obey, not how to think. From the moment you entered a classroom, you were trained for compliance. Raise your hand, sit still, memorize the approved answers, repeat them on the test. Not once were you truly rewarded for dangerous, independent thought. You were rewarded for repeating what you were told. Nietzsche believed this was the systematic murder of the individual spirit. The crowd does not want brilliant individuals, it wants predictable members. This isn't just about school, think about your career. Most corporate ladders are designed to reward conformity, not ingenuity. You are promoted for reliably executing someone else's vision, not for creating your own. The good employee is often just the most obedient one, and they wake up at 50 with a stable career and a starved soul. Nietzsche described the path to true intellectual freedom in his three metamorphoses. First, we are the camel, the spirit of reverence who patiently takes on the heaviest burdens of society. Then we must become the lion, the spirit of rebellion, who fights the great dragon named Thou Shalt and screams, I will. But the final stage is the child, reborn, creating its own values. Most people live and die as the camel. The second truth: most people want comfort more than truth. If you offer people a comforting lie or an inconvenient truth, they will choose the lie almost every time. Comfort is addictive. The truth is often cold, sharp, and demanding. It requires you to change. Nietzsche saw this in every era, people pretending to love truth but secretly only wanting reassurance. They don't want to be awakened, they want to be coddled. But the truth doesn't care if you're afraid, and if you choose the comfort of illusion, reality will eventually crash through your door. By then, it's usually too late. The third truth: what hurts you is what reveals you. Our entire society is built on the avoidance of pain, but Nietzsche saw pain as a master teacher, the only mirror that reflects who you truly are. He famously said, "To live is to suffer, to survive is to find some meaning in the suffering." This isn't pessimism, it's a call to action, to embrace your fate, whatever it may be, is what he called Amor Fati, a love of fate. But this is not a passive acceptance of suffering, it is an active, joyful embrace of everything that has ever happened to you. It is the ultimate expression of the will to power, to look at your entire life with all its agony and ecstasy and declare to the universe, again. The victim asks, why did this happen to me? The overman asks, how can I use this to become stronger? By facing pain, you become stronger than what hurt you. The fourth truth: the crowd is rarely right, but always loud. There is a seductive poison in belonging. The crowd offers identity, purpose, and the illusion of safety. But Nietzsche warned that the crowd is not wise, it is a beast. It doesn't think, it reacts, it doesn't question, it repeats. He wrote, "Insanity in individuals is something rare, but in groups, parties, nations, and epochs, it is the rule. To live a life that is truly yours, you will have to disappoint the crowd. And most people are not brave enough to pay that price."
The fifth truth, kindness without strength makes you a target. You were taught to be nice, but Nietzsche saw that without strength, kindness becomes a vulnerability. Predators don't respect kindness, they exploit it. Takers don't stop because you're generous, they take more. He distinguished between master morality, the values of the strong who define good for themselves, and slave morality, which praises qualities like humility and pity because they protect the weak. He argued that slave morality often disguises envy as a virtue. The person who cannot create praises humility. The person who is afraid to take risks praises safety. It is the revenge of the weak upon the strong. The person who is kind and strong can change the world, but the person who is only kind gets used. Peace without power isn't peace, it's submission. You've just heard the first 5 warnings. This is the foundation of Nietzsche's philosophy. If you're ready to go deeper into the mind of a master, subscribe now to Think Abyss, because the most uncomfortable and most liberating truths are yet to come. The sixth truth, discipline isn't motivation, it's self-respect. Most people chase motivation like a drug. They wait for the right mood, the perfect inspiration. Nietzsche would laugh at this. The person who waits for motivation has already surrendered their will to their fleeting emotions. True discipline, Nietzsche knew, was the highest form of integrity. It is the ability to act in accordance with your highest values, especially when it's hard. This is the path of the Übermensch, overman, the being who overcomes himself not for society's sake, but for his own. Most people think they have a motivation problem. What they really have is a self-respect problem. The seventh truth, people secretly resent your success. People love the idea of you improving as long as you don't actually surpass them. Your growth forces them to confront their own stagnation. Nietzsche had a word for this, resentment. It is the feeling of spite and envy the weak feel towards the strong, often disguised as moral judgment. This is why when you start to truly grow, some people won't celebrate. They will distance themselves. This doesn't mean you're wrong. It means you've stopped shrinking for their comfort.
The eighth truth, your shadow will sabotage you if you ignore it. Everyone has a shadow, the hidden parts of you that you were told are unlovable, your anger, your shame, your selfishness. This is your will to power. Like Jung, Nietzsche understood that suppressing the shadow only makes it stronger. The more you reject a part of yourself, the more control it gains behind the scenes. When you deny your own ambition, it rots into jealousy of others. When you deny your own anger, it leaks out as passive aggression. Nietzsche saw that real strength comes from integrating the shadow, not hiding it. A person who knows their own capacity for darkness doesn't get controlled by it. They harness its energy for creative and life-affirming purposes, aiming it like a weapon toward a noble goal. The ninth truth: you cannot think clearly if you are pleasing everyone. People-pleasing is a psychological prison disguised as kindness. When you prioritize others' expectations over your own truth, you lose access to your clarity. You second-guess every decision. You dilute your instincts. Most people don't realize this until they look around one day and wonder, why does no one know the real me? It's because you trained them to love your performance, not your soul. We are now entering the final, most existential truths. This is where the psychology becomes deeply personal. If this is the kind of critical thinking you've been searching for, let me know in the comments which truth has hit you the hardest so far. The 10th truth: you can feel empty after doing everything right. We are sold a checklist for happiness, but Nietzsche saw the hollowness behind these promises. You can follow every rule society gives you and still end up living someone else's idea of a meaningful life. And when you finally get there, you expect fulfillment. But what you find is a haunting question: is this all there is? This existential emptiness comes from mistaking structure for substance, from obeying expectations instead of exploring desire. The checklist life is like climbing a ladder that is propped against the wrong wall. The path out of this void is not more success, but more truth. You must stop asking, "What should I do?" and start asking, "What is mine to do?"
The 11th truth: meaning is rare. Attention is a poor substitute. We live in a world addicted to being seen. Likes, views, shares. It feels like connection. But Nietzsche would say it's performance. Attention is cheap. Meaning is sacred. Nietzsche believed that meaning doesn't come from how many people see you. It comes from what you see when you're alone, from doing work that aligns with your essence, from speaking words that matter, even if they echo in silence. The 12th truth: death doesn't steal, it clarifies. We fear death as a thief, but Nietzsche saw it as a clarifying force. It is the ultimate mirror. He proposed his most famous thought experiment, the Eternal Recurrence. He asks you to imagine that a demon crawls into your loneliest loneliness and says, "This life as you now live it and have lived it, you will have to live once more and innumerable times more." Would you throw yourself down and gnash your teeth and curse the demon? Or would you greet it as a god? This question strips away all that is meaningless. It forces you to ask, am I living a life I would be willing to repeat for eternity? Most people only wake up to this question when time is no longer a promise, but a closing door. The 13th truth: your freedom will cost you everything that was fake. To become truly free, you must destroy every illusion that kept you safe. Your false friendships, your comfortable excuses, your titles, your need to be liked. Freedom is not given, it's taken. And the price is everything that is not real. Real freedom is terrifying. It means taking absolute responsibility. You can no longer blame your past, your parents, or society. Every outcome is on you. This is the dizziness of freedom.
But Nietzsche believed that until you lose what isn't truly yours, you'll never discover what is. You have just heard 13 of the most painful and liberating truths. Nietzsche shared them not to scare you, but to awaken you. Every one of them is a fork in the road. Ignore them and you drift. Live them and you begin. And maybe you're not ready to change everything yet. That's okay. Awareness always comes before action. But if even one of these truths shook something loose in you, don't let it fade. Welcome to Think Abyss. You're not behind. You're just starting with the truth.